Hey guys, it's my second video, Sacred Spaces. I thought, well, we've got so much time with this lockdown thing, but it's also time I want to use wisely, and I always thought, oh yeah, I want to change the Sacred Spaces a bit, so I'm doing the videos. I got good feedback from the first video last week, so I'm doing another one. Jotted a few thoughts, and hopefully I don't say so many ums as the first time. I just said two already, but I won't say any more. So I was thinking about this week, and we've got some time on our hands, both you and I think we can use the time very wisely. We choose how to use the time, and it's been a time to reflect. I've been journaling, or blogging. I said it again. Anyway, so have you been doing the same? I wondered, because this is a big thing. We don't know what it is. We can't define it too much. We don't know what the cure is. We don't know when it ends. I know South Africa started lockdown last night for 3 weeks. UK is in lockdown, a kind of strict lockdown. We're still allowed to get outside to do exercise, so it's good, but no public gatherings. This thing has affected the whole world. No football gathering, no sports events, just everything. The Olympics have been postponed to next year. Just a lot has changed, and it's almost we can't miss this, and we almost can't not take stock or notice this. So I think you'll be seeing people blogging more, journaling, praying more, and I think that's good. And I think we need to be kind to ourselves in this time to allow that and to go through a whole bunch of emotions where we're confused. We were asking God questions: what's going on, what's happening, where we might be angry at times, or we might be bored at times, but then we might feel we have this inspirational moment, this moment to be very creative. So that would also be really good. So be kind to yourself, allow it to happen, but I think take stock. Don't let this moment pass by and you don't realize that it's a big moment, and we've got to gather it in, and it kind of makes sense. And I think for some people it's either praying or talking to God a lot more. Some people it's writing, or some people it's doing little vlogs like this thing. What I was thinking is a bit like some of my musings in the week. I was thinking what would help us navigate through this new time we're going through. And for me, one of them is to keep a routine, to keep life as normal as it was prior to coronavirus. Now that we're in coronavirus, there's like going to be a pre-coronavirus and there's going to be a post-coronavirus like event time in our timeline, in our life timeline. And so prior to this, I was running on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I still do the same thing now. I still get up and get dressed. It sounds bizarre and weird, but some people would want to stay in their pajamas the whole day, and you almost then kind of like just lose track of the days, to kind of lose track of the week, and kind of lose track of your routine. Routine's good. It's a bit of structure in your week is good. Those who've got to do like work at home now, whether it's university or work or school work, whatever it is, you need to set aside this time, so don't kind of just arb through the next few days, next few weeks. Not few days, we don't know how long this all is. So yeah, I think it's pretty wise to set some sort of routine. I also thought of the things we do is to extend daily things we maybe have done in the past. So I found I've been in the past rushing through my quiet times. I would read a little devotional book. I might do some just personal reading, or I will listen to something, but I half listen to it. So even I will listen to a worship song, but I'll be doing other things while I'm listening to the worship song. So I'm not fully engaged to the worship song, to the lyrics, to spending time with God. And so now my quiet times have been extended. I will sit there and really engage with the scripture that I'm reading, or a worship song that I'm listening to. And then I thought of also adding new things. We've got the time. Add some new productive things. Don't add some frivolous, pointless things. And maybe, well, actually, some pointless, frivolous things might be good for you too. Not everything has to be so serious or so focused. But you have a lot of time. Use the time wisely. And my housemate and I were talking about we're starting to phone a lot more people, do video calls with people, because we've got the time, and it's almost like going back to a formal way of communication. No one likes taking phone calls. Maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago, before coronavirus, everyone hates answering the phone. Now people love it. People want to talk to people. I think it's just interesting how times have changed and we've kind of gone backwards with communication, but forwards at the same time. We were engaging people. Last night I ran a home group with my young adults, and we did it via Zoom, and it was weird and fun and just good to see people. And some people are really feeling isolated, no matter what age. They might be younger age. I know some young adults who are just feeling bored or stuck. And now having this home group was good for them to connect with others. So yeah, just add some new things. Maybe it's phoning people. Maybe it's learning a language, Duolingo or any of these apps. Learn a language, or maybe every day it's reading a book, actually reading a whole chapter of a book every day, because you can, you've got the time. And then the big thing is to get outside. I found I'm having lunch every day outside. It is funny, we've kind of been blessed here in the UK. If this is the first week of lockdown, God said, okay, it's going to be tough the next few weeks, but I'm going to give you the most glorious weather. We've had incredible weather. It's been so beautiful. And every day I've sat outside having lunch. And even next week, if I see it's going to get cooler, there'll be more clouds next week. That's okay. I'll just put on a jumper, jersey, as the South Africans say, and I'll keep it a bit warmer, but I'll sit outside. Why not? And I kind of don't rush to the lunch. I'm present with my lunch. As weird as that is, often in the past, I'll be eating lunch while I'm doing something else. Now I'm just sitting having lunch, and I'll sit in the sun and just soak it in. It's adding value to ordinary moments. And I was thinking, the whole thing about planning your week, same as earlier having a routine, planning your week. Have a purpose. What's the week going to look like at the end, from Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday, however your week goes? What's it going to look like? What are you going to have achieved in the week? Set some goals. I don't think we need it. It's not to let kind of life just take us in like a washing machine cycle. We're just kind of rolling with it. Rather plan your life and you create your life. What do you want to achieve by this Friday? Today being Friday. Next week, what do you want to achieve? Set some little signposts and say, I'm going there, I'm aiming for that, because I think that will make it really helpful in this time. And then I think of a scripture, Acts 17 verses 28, for in him we live and move and have our being. It's been one of my verses I've had with me for a while. I love it. It speaks of being in a rhythm and in a cadence with God. This sort of like groove that we have, and this movement. So that for in him we live, so our life is with him. In him we move, like which direction are you going? And in him we have our being, our identity, who we are is in God. And what a great place to start. And I just love that verse. And so now our life looks different. Our movement looks different. Our movement's restricted. We're restricted to our yards, restricted to our houses. We're restricted to only going outside if we're going to get groceries. Things are different. But your life is still in God. Your being is still in God. And so that's a pretty cool thing. And then I thought of this, send out signal flares. We need to do that. Drop in with people, send messages, don't struggle alone, don't be bored alone, don't be stuck in I personally dislike the word bored, because I think there's so many things we can do, we can be creative. But that being said, sometimes people do feel bored, but don't suffer alone. That's my biggest thing. Send out signal flares. And I kind of thought of what bands are doing these days. It's quite cool. Things like bands like I saw the other day, Jimmy Eat World did it. I know Dave Matthews are doing it tonight. Jeremy Loops are doing it on Sunday. All these cool artists are like doing these gigs via Instagram Live or YouTube with their YouTube channel. They're doing these gigs for their fans. And in Italy or Spain the other day, DJs were doing sets from their balconies to like entertain the people in the streets. They're so cool. And I think just these creative things are happening. And these are musos. I kind of thought music being stuck in homes, like they used to do gigs with a whole bunch of people. Now they were stuck. They need to do something, so they're doing these like shows and they're connecting with people. But again, I believe music has a massive power to heal and help people. So I think it's pretty cool that these artists are doing it. In a sense, it's a signal flare. They're not really looking for help, but they're blessing people with their talent. Whether yours is being kind to people, sending inspirational verses, literally praying for people. You know, often how Christians are, we say, I'll pray for you, and then we kind of pray once, and the next day we forget to pray for someone. But we should pray like fervently and passionately for people. There's so many things. I mean, like doing chores in the household that you never do because you're so busy or so absorbed in your own life. Now you're stuck at home. Do some chores. Get involved. And there's lots of things we can help and send out signal flares and help other people. Notice other people's signal flares. And then the biggest thing I wanted to end off with was filtering what comes in. I know here in the UK you can spend lots of time on BBC or Facebook and you get absolutely bored. No, not the word bored. You get absolutely, like, it's information overload and almost doom and gloom because there's just so much happening. And it was almost like this negative stuff. I mean, yes, it is a difficult time. It is crazy, but you're just getting way too much information and it's making people be filled with despair. And you choose what you filter in. Maybe tune in to BBC once a day, tune on Facebook once a day, whatever it may be. But don't be absorbed in that world. It's going to bring you down. Honestly, it will bring you down. And he said, Proverbs 4:23, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Do that. Guard your heart, because it's gonna be horrible. Your thoughts can go dark. Your world can spiral out of control if you're filtering in the wrong things. So learn to filter in the right things. So that's my second video, Sacred Spaces. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good week and good weekend. Over and out.